he gave the Bhakti Vidyapit sessions. So Prabhuji was telling that time, this compassion is not wrong, but misplaced compassion is wrong. But he forgot one thing, that animal cannot be enlightened spiritually. As we discussed beginning, that compassion plus so compassion without Krishna consciousness is like bodily conception. So till the time he can be taken care, but as the deer will grown up, then best thing for the deer, that the deer has to be sent back to the flocks of the other deers, so that the deer also become happy, and he also very happy with his deer Krishna. But it will not happen like this. As the deer was growing, what happened? When one in the course of helping someone, there is a chance of developing attachment, which is natural. That one can develop attachment. So he become too much attached to the deer. As we see another example from the Bhagavatam, that when Yajati Maharaj became attached to the Devyani, when he helped her to bring back out from the well, so he become also develop attachment, and then we know the pastime also. So we can learn lessons from the great souls, how in this world we can show compassion without developing this kind of attachment. So like Sukadeva Goswami example is there. In Bhagavatam it is mentioned that when the Parikshit Maharaj was king, that time he not went Sukadeva Goswami to approach the king. But when he understood that the king has now renounced and no one is there, so then he came to this place where he just gave him knowledge. So he was just giving knowledge. And after he spoke Bhagavatam, then he left. He understood that my duty is just, I gave him knowledge completely, now up to him. Second also is Jad Bharat. Jad Bharat also gave the knowledge to the Raghuguna. But after then, giving knowledge, Jad Bharat also left. Jad Bharat was not thinking that, okay, I will become the minister in the Raghuguna's kingdom, all this thing. So these are the way lesson learned from the great soul. But another lesson we can learn from which is very applicable for us, because our moment is, because we had to give time to them also. Like Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada example is a perfect for us. Prabhupada went to America, gave from beginning, what to speak of beginning, from negative to zero and then positive. He has brought to them so much time, so much with them, and he has become while being with them, training with them, helping them so to grow in Krishna consciousness, but he was not considering himself as a doer. As we see, Prabhu was considering that as a spiritual master, my spiritual master, and he was giving credit to him. So he was not considering himself as a doer. Therefore, there is no chance of becoming attached. But he was helping them in Krishna consciousness. So these are the ways example. And then after compassion, as we see that next came that he neglected sadhana, which is very danger. While he was taking care of deer, maintaining protection as his own child, in this way he gave up all the rules and regulation, and then gradually neglect to worship the Supreme Lord. And the time will come after gave up all the rules and regulations which will be followed by Krishna consciousness, and then gave up the worship to the Supreme Lord, and the time came where he completely forgot about doing his spiritual activities. So in this way, which Prabhu told that second point, in this way he gave up his own interest to attain the favor of Lord Vishnu. So this is the only way actually, as a mercifully Lord has given a sadhana to approach him. So this is the only way to approach him, by practicing Krishna consciousness, by doing our sadhana. But that also is neglected, then is completely become the bodily conception only. So that way he was just after neglecting sadhana, then came to the philosophy of misplaced compassion, as like His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj came, gave class. So he was telling that about justification. So these are the now he is going to say about the justification, about how deer. First of all, he is speaking about deer. Deer is like very innocent. No one is there about in his life. So he was like simple. So many things he was speaking of the deer. And then, but what is speaking about him? He has taken shelter of me. I am his only father. I am only everything. So the duty of the renounced person who are cultured and saintly should not neglect this important interest to protect the surrender. Even though one's own interest of attaining Vishnu may be sacrifice. So these things, this kind of justification he was giving. So therefore he just showed the misplaced compassion. And come then attachment. As already we developed attachment. The one verse is there, 11th verse. So this verse is most important, very much important. So this verse explains that the same kind of attachment which Bharat Maharaj was showing to deer, the same kind of attachment can be also done in a positive way, so that we also develop attachment to the Supreme Lord. So the words is explained here. What activity he did? Iti kritanusanga asana shayana tanasnana sanidhishu sahamriga jauna sneha bandbadha hridaya asit. Due to attachment for the deer, Maharaj Bharat lay down with it, walked about with it, bathed with it, and even ate with it. Thus his heart became bound to the deer in affection. Sneha. The word sneha is used. The same thing we can do with the Supreme Lord. Beginning of the day, we can wake up the Lord, dress the Lord, bathe the Lord, cook for the Lord, and then do a whole activity and doing offering to the Lords. Jai Shri Shri Radha Vrindavan Chandra Bhagavan ki Jai, Gaurnita Bhagavan ki Jai, Jagannath Bolde Subhadra. In this way, we do the same activities. We can attend the festival of the Lord. Means fully absorb, and then what happen? As a sneha for the Lord will develop. Same thing we can be with Bhagavatam. We can read Bhagavatam, hear Bhagavatam, and party means activity, whatever mention is there. Same thing applies to the Bhagavatam, to the chanting. So in this way we can develop the same attachment to the spiritual activities which Bharat Maharaj has developed to the this deer. So these are the way we can also become attached to the positive way. And then what happened? After attachment came the distraction. After attachment, affection also came, and then distraction. Distraction means he was just meditating, and while meditating, he was just externally he looked like meditating, but internally his mind was thinking of the deer. What deer is doing, what activity is doing, and just in between he just get interrupt from this devotional service and just go and see that what deer is doing. And when he see that the deer is nicely eating grass, soft grass, then he become very happy. And while happily he just giving blessing to him. May my deer live a long life. So these are the way he has developed attachment. In this way, his daily routine was going on. Completely forgotten Krishna, and his whole attention, his whole absorption developed in the Krishna deer. So this way, which we saw previous life when he was a householder, verse after verse after verse, his attachment to the Lord Vasudeva was increasing. And now the verse after verse explaining that how his attachment to the deer is increasing. So in like same His Holiness Gopal Maharaj gave class in Brahmachari just now. So one devotee asked question, is that my Krishna consciousness also increasing and Maya is also increasing? Maharaj replied that both will not happen simultaneously. When Krishna consciousness increases, Maya will not increase. So same thing that beginning his Krishna consciousness was increasing. There is no question of Maya. Now his Maya is increasing. and there is no question of Krishna consciousness. So of course, when he was a householder, his devotion was so much developed that he got the renunciation. But now he's a renunciate, then his distraction happened. So we cannot come to the conclusion that as a householder, one can very nicely engage in Krishna consciousness and renunciation will be get distraction. Our lesson we can learn from that, and the Krishna consciousness can be practiced in any way. If one is householder is very sincere, serious, like although he may be engaged whole day in worldly activities or going to office and all surrounded by all the non-devotees, but he is absorbed in Krishna consciousness, then his devotion will increase. Whereas the one is a renounced order, he has all the facilities to perfect his life, to completely 24-hour engage in the service of the Krishna, but he is very inattentive, not serious in his practice, and so many things. Then for him, getting the distraction. So ashram is there, but more important is where our mind is, where our consciousness is. Like Rasham Prabhu give examples that one brahmachari was there in the ashram, and he was calling to his old boss when he was working in the company. And after calling, he was asking to the boss that how company is going on, how this client is selling, how this project is happening. So his consciousness that asking about how the company is happening, and the boss was asking him which festival is there in the temple, and what activity is happening, what books are, all these things. So what happened? His consciousness was in about companies. After some time he left and joined the same company, and boss consciousness was in Krishna consciousness. Then after that he became the devotee, the 16 rounder. So these things we can understand that how it will help our absorption, wherever our absorption is, that then we can be there. Actually, Haldar Maharaj, I was hearing Haldar Maharaj class, he was saying a very strong point. He was saying that हम तटस्थ शक्ति है. तटस्थ मतलब कभी अंतरंगा शक्ति के आधार में, कभी बहिरंगा शक्ति के आधार में. तो मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम हम बहिरंगा शक्ति में रहते हैं, क्योंकि जो भजन करना है वो अंतरंगा शक्ति क्या क्वालिटी है. तो भजन करना अंतरंगा शक्ति का है, लेकिन हम बहिरंगा शक्ति में ज़्यादा रहते हैं. तो उनका क्या क्वालिटी है? खाना पीना, परिश्रम करना और सोना, बस यही उनका क्वालिटी है. इसलिए ये गुण हमें पूरे भरे हुए हैं. ये इस चीज़ों को करने के लिए हमको प्रयास नहीं करना पड़ता कि कैसे मैं खाऊँ तो इसलिए मुझे प्रयास करना चाहिए, कैसे मैं सोने के लिए मुझे प्रयास करना चाहिए, ये अपने आप है. लेकिन हमको प्रयास करना पड़ता है कि भक्ति में भजन कैसे करे जाए, तो उसके लिए बहुत प्रयास करना पड़ता है. लेकिन अभी हम क्या करें, हमारे से बता रहे थे हम क्या करें, अभी हम तो तटस्थ शक्ति है तो क्या करें. तो बोले उन चीज़ों को आसरा लेना चाहिए जो बहिरंगा शक्ति में है, लेकिन उनका चेतना पूरा अंतरंगा शक्ति में है. उन भक्तों का आश्रय मीन्स प्योर डिवोटीज का, तभी जाके हम भगवान का भजन कर सकेंगे. लेकिन हम अगर हम अपने ही चीज़ों में फिक्स फुली एब्जॉर्ब रहेंगे तो वेरी डिफ़िकल्ट. तो इसलिए हल्दर महाराज वाज यूजिंग वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग वर्ड्स. तो देयरफॉर इम्पोर्टेंट इज दैट for our endeavor very difficult to achieve this perfection. So therefore very much important that we should always be like many devotees gave the reason of Bharat Maharaj's distraction is because of no association. So this is a very more important reason. So for our endeavor very difficult, but when we take shelter of us great souls, those whose absorption completely in the Antaranga Shakti, then we also get connection. Okay, so I will just last section I will just take lesson from the Bharat Maharaj pastime. We discuss. So we can learn the lesson while showing compassion, because we cannot, because our society is like that only. We have to be with them. It's not that we have to just ignore. We have to be them, but we have to be in such a way that compassion without getting distraction. So while showing compassion, we maybe get distracted, but we have this like Bharat Maharaj pastime is like called as the Google Map. Google Map means with strong guideline direction of the Prabhupada. Like as we see we have to go somewhere, we don't know the map properly, with direction from here to Bombay. So we always carry the mobile which show the direction. So which direction everyone has to go. So this direction is like this pastimes from the Bhagavatam, which direct us that which route has to go, along with proper strong direction of Prabhupada purports, which tells us that what one should do. So these are called as like that. But what happened? Sometime we go to wrong direction. So then again and again the signal shows that you are going wrong direction. Please turn left, please turn U-turn. So in this way he was showing. But most important is to carry this Google Map. So introspection every day is like that. How can I? So Google Map is like that direction, and therefore we should introspect our every day, and in that we get proper direction. So, but what happened? As we know that many of us, because we walk on the same path many times, or whatever, we become overconfident. Then we say that, okay, I know the shortcuts. Like the map is direction is telling go this way, but I know the shortcuts how to reach. So I will take the other route. And again, map is saying go this side, go this side. So this way, we may ignore, or one may become lazy. Lazy matlab forget to charge the mobile only in the night, and tomorrow next day when he carry the mobile, if you know that no charging, it become lazy. And third one is that after the direction showing also, he become the neglectful. Guidelines, we neglect the guidelines, and showing in this way all these things actually overconfidence that I can do my own self, or become lazy to practice all these things which are the mentioned there, or become neglectful. So these are the Krishna conscious activity, all this our morning, like Prabhupada's second purport only writing that, how it is very important for to coming to the morning program, attend Mangalarti, all this, all the activities in Krishna consciousness, these are very much important. So then we neglect all these things, then we have to pay the price like this. Another lesson that in the name of helping, I maybe get distracted, like Bharat Maharaj neglected sadhana instead of accepting his mistake and taking precaution, he started giving justification. So sometimes we become attached and we become started justification. No, I know this is not my mistake, all this thing. So instead of going and asking help from the superiors, we started giving different kinds of justification. So what he's saying, oh dear is helpless, and which already discussed. So therefore we should also have the strong connection with superiors to whom I take guidance. In the case of Bharat Maharaj, no person was there to guide. Third is greatest welfare activity to raise person to Krishna consciousness, not to mislead in bodily terms. Like 99% of our organization is doing this activity of bodily welfare on this bodily activity, but not knowing that what is the greatest welfare activity. Like Prabhuji was giving example that once he went to the once organization hospital was there. In that organization, a doctor was wearing saffron sannyasi robes, and he was getting treatment from that doctor. And then Rasham Prabhu asked, you are a doctor, you should, you are a sannyasi, you should spread the message of Krishna consciousness. Why you are doing in this activity? Well, I am karma sannyasi. Well, I am karma sannyasi, so that therefore I engage in that. So all organizations are doing that only. But we should not be misunderstand that this what activity of like instead of giving pure Krishna consciousness, like holy name or preaching Bhagavatam, all this pure Krishna consciousness, we just give them different things. Now, this is most important. Always meditating, how can I best help him? Help him is to whom we are attached, that person. So instead of become attached and understanding that without him I cannot believe all this thing, we should become a big heart and help him in Krishna consciousness. Like the example is given the Suniti. Suniti only dear is Dhruva Maharaj. But she was more on the side of giving Krishna consciousness than on the side of become attached and being with her only. So therefore, sometime in the giving of guidance, we may not able to give proper guidance to make him grow in Krishna consciousness. So we should guide him in such a senior way to whom he will be get nourishment. And then also our core thing in Krishna consciousness is when we have a strongly shelter relationship with senior, superior and equals, then we can give shelter to others. This is important for us. And the last one is, after doing all this thing, if still a deer wanted to run away, then you try to help, then Tyaga Shanti. There are so many other deers are there to whom you can help them. Otherwise, one deer completely taken away one Krishna consciousness and completely absorbed instead of helping, he is taking my Krishna consciousness. So better we help whatever way you can help from distance, and then you be preach with others. Okay, these are the some lessons. I just end here really. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण। सभी डिवोटी से विनती है कि गवर्नमेंट का नियम है, अभी कोरोना लॉकडाउन वो से चल रहा है, लॉकडाउन तो नहीं है बट ये सोशल डिस्टेंस और मास्क पहनना ज़रूरी है, और कभी भी गवर्नमेंट का ऑफिसर से आ सकते हैं और जो भी मास्क नहीं पहनते हैं उनको फाइन लगा सकते हैं। इसलिए सभी ब्रह्मचारी से भी हम विनती करते हैं, टेम्पल हॉल में आते समय मास्क पहन के ही आना है। तो कल से हम स्ट्रिक्ट करने वाले हैं, कल से भागवतम क्लास में भी आप आते समय मास्क पहन के ही आना है। सभी ब्रह्मचारी से विनती है, सवेरे आप आते समय, मंगल आरती के आते समय मास्क अपने जेब में रख के आइए, और कभी भी कुछ भी मतलब इंस्ट्रक्शन मिल सकता है, इसलिए आप मास्क साथ में रखिए और सोशल डिस्टेंस फॉलो कीजिएगा। हरे कृष्ण। और आगे का जो फेस्टिवल्स के बारे में आपको मैसेज मिलेगा और उसका अनाउंसमेंट नोटिस में लगाया जाएगा। हरे कृष्ण।